Jessa Mae Etac Lisbos from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Science 1 Saya. So now, in this video, I'm going to present my demonstration for our final major output of teaching science. But before that, when you are not already subscribing, just click subscribe button and all notification bells to be updated on the following videos uploaded. And now, let's get started.
7E's detailed lesson plan in chemistry grade 10.
Good morning, class. And now let us pray first, and one student will lead a prayer. And now, I'm gonna check in your attendance and say present if you are here. Anna, Riza, Mary. Very good. Okay, class, please pick up the pieces of paper under your chair. So how was your day? That's good to know. Have you ever wondered how the atoms bond? When we can hear bang, it thinks up to our mind are close to one another, or the atom, right? Very good. So, we know that it's interesting topic, and you should focus and listen carefully. atom is important? What is chemical bonding? Where do atoms came from? What happened when atoms bond? Let's answer that for the following discussion. Chemical bonding. When you look at the matter or physical substances around you, you will realize that atoms seldom exist on their own. More often, the things around us are made of different atoms that have been joined together. This is called the chemical bonding. Chemical bonding is one of the most important processes in chemistry because it allows all sorts of different molecules and combination of atoms to form, which then make up the objects to complete world around us. A strong chemical bond are the intramolecular forces that hold atoms together in molecules. A strong chemical bonds is formed from the transfer or sharing electrons between the atom center and relies on the electrostatic attraction between the proton in the nuclei and the electrons in the orbital. What happens when atoms bond? A chemical bond is formed when atoms are held together by attractive forces. This attraction occurs when electrons are shared between atoms or when electrons are exchanged between the atoms that are involved in the bond. Atoms will covalently bond with other atoms in order to gain more stability, which is gained by forming a full electron shell. By sharing their outermost valence electrons, atoms can fill up their outer electron shell and gain stability. A complete octet is very stable because all orbitals will be full. Atoms with greater stability have less energy. So a reaction that increases stability of the atoms will release energy in the forms of heat or light. A stable arrangement is attended when the atoms is surrounded by 8 electrons. Does it mean when the atoms is stable, it has a net electrical charge of 0, meaning that the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. The nucleus is also a valence, in that the number of protons equals to the number of neutrons. The 3 primary types of chemical bond are ionic, covalent, and metallic. An ionic bond is formed when valence electrons are transferred from one atom to the other to complete the outer electron shell. A covalent bond is formed when the valence electrons from one atom are shared between 2 or more particular atoms. A metallic bond is formed when the valence electrons are not associated with a particular atom or ion, but exist as a cloud of electrons around the ion centers. Atoms were created after the Big Bang 13.7 billion years ago. As the hot dense new universe cooled, conditions became suitable for quarks and electrons to form. Quarks came together to form protons and neutrons. These particles combined into nuclei. Who created the atom bond? In 1916, Gilbert Newton Lewis, 1875 to 1946, published his seminal paper suggesting that chemical bond is a pair of electrons shared by 2 atoms. What is the use of chemical bonding in real life? Almost everything a person sees or touches in daily life, the air we breathe, the food we eat, the clothes we wear, and so on, is the result of chemical bonds, or more accurately, many chemical bonds. Now class, this time, you should group by yourself into 2 groups. In each group, you must build a 3D model of the atom according to the atom you have chosen. The founder of chemical bonding, none other than... Yes, very good, Gilbert Newton Lewis. The outermost shell needs 8 electrons in order to be... Yes, stable. atoms that do not have full outer shell will tend to gain or lose electrons. The things around us are made up of different atoms that have been joined together. This is called awesome. This is called a chemical bonding. When I'm saying it's the center of an atom, yes, it's nucleus. When I'm saying it's a positively charged, very good, it's proton. If it's no charge, yes, very good, it's neutral. Last but not the least, the outermost region of the atom are called blank and contain blank negative charge. Yes, very good. The outermost region of the atom are called electron shell and contain electron negative charge. So for your assignment, write an essay of what you have learned in this lesson and draw a Bohr diagram of the following atoms, which is the aluminum and boron.
4A's Activating Prior Knowledge in Science Grade 7.
Good morning, class. Now, let's have a recap. This time, you will be engaged and have an immersion on proper waste disposal. Prepare your pen and paper, so let's start. As the students good in our nations, you need to save the world that describe or related to the elements and compounds. Segregate them by writing it in the boxes. Let's check your answer. Very good. The words related to the elements are one atom, oxygen, and hydrogen. What about the word related to compound? Excellent! The word related to compound are two or more atoms and water. Good job! You have proved that you are great students of our nation. Remember, elements are made up of atoms or atoms of the same kind. Each element is made entirely from one type of atom. Maybe metal, non-metal, and metalloid. Example of metal are copper, lead, and nickel. Example of non-metal are fluorine, sulfur, and helium. Example of metalloids are arsenic, antimony, and tellurium. Compounds are combinations of two or more elements. Compounds can be broken down into its components through chemical process. Example, baking soda is equal sodium plus hydrogen plus carbon plus oxygen 3. Hydrogen peroxide is equal to hydrogen 2 plus oxygen 2. Actually, there's a tool that can help you identify the different elements. And this is our lesson for today's episode. So how was your weekend? That's good to know. For this morning, our discussion is about the periodic table. Are you familiar with this? So what have you learned about the periodic table? Yes, very good. So now, I have a video prepared to show you the sum of periodic table. Enjoy watching! divided up. Why is the periodic table is important? Periodic table. The periodic table is devised by Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev, was a Russian chemist and inventor. He is best known as formulating the periodic law and creating a sparse-sided version of the periodic table of the elements. It is where all of 118 elements are arranged according to its group and period. Group is a table 18 column from top to bottom. Period is the 7th row in the periodic table. Elements are arranged from left to right and top to bottom in order of increasing atomic number. You can also see the symbols of those elements in the periodic table. Example, for the elements of hydrogen, the symbol is capital H. This periodic table will help you familiarize with the elements. Now, let's try to use the periodic table. Are you ready? Let's try it out. What's the symbol in the following of the elements? I will give you 5 minutes to look for its symbols. Are you already done answering? Let's see if your answers are correct. These are the symbols of those elements. The symbol for lithium, Li, chlorine, Cl, argon, Ar, calcium, Ca, manganese, Mn, boron, B, nitrogen, N, chlorine, F, phosphorus, P, iodine, I. It's easy, right? This time, let's try to identify the group number of these elements. Group is the periodic table, are 18 columns. Example, hydrogen. The group number is 1. Are you ready? Let's go and find it. find it? Let's see if your answer is right.
And it belongs to period number 1. number 5.
Did you find it hard? Well, I'm telling you that you did a great job. How did you enjoy the activity? Elements and compounds are essential. What makes it essential? There are elements that required for life, and absence of this may result to death. We all use this in our daily life, in the food that we eat, the water we drink, and the air that we breathe. They showed how its important element is. Let's make a sci art. Choose an element in the periodic table and make a flashcard showing its name, symbol, and letter describe on how important is that element of your choice. You may use any art materials like bond paper, colored paper, coloring materials, markers, scissors, and glue. So who is up for this? Hop on! To see how you understand the lesson, let's have an assessment. Prepare your pen and your paper, read the questions carefully, write the letter of the correct answer in your paper. Number 1. Which of the following statement is true? A. Ferrosulfate cannot be broken down into simpler substances. B. Compounds are made of one kind of element. C. Water is composed of more than 2 elements. D. Compounds are more complex than elements. Number 2. What elements are made up the compound potassium nitrate? A. Potassium and oxide. B. Potassium, nitrogen, and oxygen. C. Potassium and oxygen. D. Potassium and potassium. Number 3. It is a tabular display of the 188 elements arranged according to groups and periods. A. Periodic table. B. Scientific method. C. Scientific calculator. D. Laboratory equipment. Number 4. Which of the following is correctly matched element? A. Carbon and oxygen, or carbon dioxide. B. Oxygen and hydrogen, or hydrogen peroxide. C. Sodium and potassium, or sodium chloride. D. Potassium and sulfur, or potassium nitrate. Let's check your answer. Number 1. I hope that you got it right, and because the correct answer is number 1 is letter D. Compound are more complex than elements. Number 2 is letter B. Potassium, nitrogen, and oxygen. Number 3 is letter A. Periodic table. Number 4 is letter A. Carbon and oxygen or carbon dioxide. Number 5 is letter A. Group. And for our evaluation, how will you describe the evolution in the periodic table? And why is the periodic table less important? Elaborate your answer. And for our assignment, please write the correct answer of the following questions. So time's up! This is for today, class, and thank you for your cooperation and have a great day. Good job, everyone!